Hi, everyone. This is Shannon. I'm super excited that this is our last presentation, last huge assignment in our program. I hope everybody else is excited too. For this case presentation, I am going to be working with one of my clients. Her name is Miranda. She is a 15-year-old female, just turned 15 in January. She's a freshman in high school, very school avoidant. She has been through quite a lot of personal traumas in her short lifespan. Um, the majority of her issues do come from her parents and just her surroundings. From ages 5 to 14, she was sexually abused by her father. Thankfully, she's not in that situation anymore. CPS is involved, and she's got a diagnosis of PTSD, general anxiety, and major depressive disorder. I work with her anywhere from 3 to 5 times per week, and we have been going through a process which I'm going to be introducing and working with today. Cognitive processing therapy, or CPT. Generally, CPT is a total of anywhere from 10 to 15 sessions. The median would be about 12 sessions following a process, including 3 phases. The first phase of CPT is psychoeducation. This is where the therapist talks to the client about their thoughts, feelings, surrounding PTSD in general, and just teaching them a little bit about CPT and PTSD. The second phase is the processing of trauma. I would say this is kind of where I'm at with Miranda. And this session that we're about to go into would kind of be one of the middle sessions. I would say that this would be end of first, beginning of second phase. And the third phase is modifying beliefs related to traumatic events. So this would be like questioning skills that are used on an ongoing basis to examine thoughts and beliefs about trauma. So I would work together with her to change her beliefs about trust, safety, in regards to her mom, her dad, her family, people around her. Some of her biggest triggers are school, because there's so many people, she doesn't feel safe. And all of this has come from her past trauma of sexual abuse. So yeah, the third phase really helps set a patient up to see these skills and strategies after treatment is complete. So yeah, I will go ahead and introduce Miranda, and we will go into our session. So, hi Miranda, how are you today?
Well, I'm here. How are you?
I'm doing all right. So I did want to go over a few things today. I know that we are on, what is this, our third or fourth session together, I think.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and I know that we've kind of gotten to know each other a little bit, so I kind of want to like dive into identifying some of your triggers. And triggers are the things that really get to you, things that cause you to have these panic attacks that you're having, things that really set you off and make you upset. So we'll identify those triggers, and then I want to explain the intervention that I'm going to be using with you to combat this and hopefully make your life a little better. How does that sound?
Okay,
All right.
that's right.
um, so the intervention that I'm going to be using, it's called cognitive processing therapy. So it's pretty much going to help you understand some of your triggers, why these triggers are happening to you, and what we can do to not necessarily solve these triggers, but help them become a little bit easier when you're experiencing them. For example, this diagnosis that you've got of PTSD. I know we've talked a little bit about it before, post-traumatic stress disorder. That's got to
Uh-huh.
do with a lot of the trauma that you've been through in regards to your family. Some of the stuff that you've told me before that you've been through with your dad. So I'll be able to explain a bit more to you about your PTSD. And and then we'll be able to move into kind of like processing that. Does that make sense?
Yeah, okay.
All right. So, PTSD, it comes with a lot of different, I guess, side effects or triggers. And some of those that you've experienced, that you've told me about, are just not wanting to go to school because you don't feel comfortable in that environment. Can you tell me a little bit more about why you don't feel comfortable in school, or what happens in school that makes you kind of panic?
So I think the biggest thing is like, when I'm walking through the halls or now they're making us eat in the cafeteria again. Like there's so many people, I feel like I can't watch everybody.
Yeah.
Because so much of what helps me feel safe is being able to watch everybody and, like judge what they're gonna do and what they're thinking. And when there's just that many people, I get overwhelmed and I can't focus and then I start to panic.
Yeah, for sure. I totally understand that. And at school, it's not like there's only like 5 or 6 people around. There are hundreds of kids around, so I can't imagine
Yeah,
how.
there's so many.
Yeah.
And they're so loud.
Do you
They're
feel
so
that
loud.
this, yeah, yeah, for sure. Especially 15-year-olds. Do you feel like you experience this more in the hallways and at lunch rather than like in class? Or would you say it's a mixture, or just how would you explain that?
So in class, I feel like I'm a little bit better able to like hide, and there's fewer people in there. So
Okay.
I can like sit in the back corner and put my hoodie up, wear my mask still and not feel looked at and not and be able to watch everybody too. You know what I mean? Because there's only like, 15, 20 kids in
Yeah.
each class. So it's easier, but that only lasts, for what, 30 minutes, 45 minutes, then we have
Mm-hmm.
to switch and I have to walk through the halls and everybody's loud and there's so many of them and
Yeah. So it's like a roller coaster. Like you finally get
yeah.
calmed down, and then the bell rings and you've got to go through the halls again, and it's just like
Hmm.
this roller coaster.
Yeah, it's just a never ending, thing and towards, God, by lunchtime I can't even get calmed down again,
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm
because
sorry.
at that point, like I'm just fried. I'm
Mm-hmm.
just fried and I can't do anymore.
Yeah. I've talked with your school social worker, and she's explained to me that there is a calm down room, I think that's what they call it, in
Mm-hmm.
the counseling office. Do you use that?
But no, because I don't want to be the weirdo that walks in there,
Okay. No, I understand that. I mean,
you know?
just because you're
I feel like
experiencing,
people already know who I am and know about me way more than I want them to,
yeah, yeah. No, I
you
get it.
know?
Um, just because you're going through this and having these feelings doesn't make you a weirdo. Everybody, even if they don't show it, they go through similar things. Some people may be able to kind of just push it to the back of their minds, but just because you can't doesn't make you any less worthy, or it doesn't make you weird. Do you have any friends that you go to school with that you can like confide in when you're having these moments?
Yeah, yeah. One of my girlfriends, helps, and my boyfriend, which we've talked about, he's helping quite a
Mm-hmm.
bit, but I don't have classes with both of them all the time,
Okay.
and so like when they can walk me to class, that's helpful because I can just like, hold their hand and focus on them and
Yeah.
they kind of guide me through. But what if like if they're not at school that day or
Mm-hmm.
you know or
So,
like I said, I don't have classes with all of, with them, like all my classes with them. So it becomes really hard to try to
really
use
difficult.
them and then not have them.
Yeah, exactly. So a couple things that I wanted to bring up was, I know that you have really enjoyed coloring and doing crafts and stuff. Something
Mm-hmm.
else that I wanted to bring up was, maybe over this next week or so we could try out that cool down room, even if it's over your lunch. If you don't
Okay.
feel comfortable that day, if you're already feeling a little bit panicky, maybe try
Mm-hmm.
to get your lunch. I know you pack, so you can just grab your lunch out of your backpack, go into the calm down room, and while you're eating, maybe you can journal. I don't know if you've ever tried it, but just journaling, just kind of, I call it word vomit. You kind of just write down everything that you're feeling, and it will make you feel so much better. You can either, when you're finished writing, you can either rip it out and tear it up, or you can just leave it in the journal and go back and read it. That's totally up to you. If it were, if it were me, or I know that there's other clients that I've had that experience this, they feel so much better ripping it up, just because going back and rereading it might bring up those feelings again.
Yeah, I don't want to reread it.
Yeah.
I could try it and throw it away. I could try that.
Yeah, I think that would be a really good idea, and that should be able to help you calm down a little bit.
Okay. And they'd be okay with me like eating in there and being alone in there?
Yeah, absolutely. I've been in there once or twice, and they've got like lava lamps. They've got a bunch of cool stuff. They've got fidget toys that you can just play with, and I know that those help you calm down. So just being in that atmosphere with just the counselor or by yourself, that should really be able to help you calm down. But yeah, we can try that this week and see how that works for you.
Okay.
And just to explain this a little bit more, so the diagnosis that you have of PTSD, these are symptoms of it. So you having this diagnosis doesn't define you as a person. Basically, it's just something you're dealing with right now, but that doesn't mean it's going to be there forever. And it doesn't, like I said, it doesn't define you, and it doesn't make you a weirdo. So I don't want you to believe that about yourself. The things that you've gone through with your dad, it's something that we're going to be able to work through eventually, but it's always going to be a sensitive topic. But right now, I think it's still kind of super sensitive and something that we don't want to get into right off the bat. So I want to help you deal with the emotions that come along with that first, and then we'll dive in deeper and see how we can like work a little further, just peel off more layers of that onion.
Okay.
But yeah, so some of the symptoms that you're experiencing, such as the panic in the hallways or looking over your shoulder, I know that you do have nightmares a lot, and sometimes hallucinations. So I'm glad that we got you on some medication and that those have been getting better. But I know that I kind of explained in previous sessions, what we call psychoeducation. So kind of just like teaching you about your symptoms and why they're happening. And now I just want to move forward a little bit and kind of process this, which is what we're going to start doing. It's just what we've already talked about in the session. So these are the types of conversations that I think would be really beneficial for us moving forward. But yeah, how does that all sound to you?
It's good. It's nice having a plan and not feeling so like I'm drowning.
Yeah, for sure. That's what we're here for. And like I said, with intensive in-home, it's not just something that you're going to be, it's not outpatient therapy. You're not going to be coming to see us once a week. You're going to have access to our services whenever you're in crisis. So let's say that you're having a panic attack so bad that you don't know what to do anymore. And when I say don't know what to do anymore, you're in danger of hurting yourself or hurting others. That's considered a crisis. And that's when I really, really want you to reach out after you've used all of the coping skills that we'll go over and continue to go over. And you're still kind of at kind of wit's end. And I don't think that's going to happen because you're already making so much progress, but I did just want to throw that out there and let you know that you're never alone. And if these situations do come up, we're here to help you. All right?
Okay.
All right. Well, I will see you next time, and just keep your head up and let me know if you need anything, okay?
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Thank you, Miranda. Have a good one.